Guys, welcome back to Al on Your Hero. We're going to be doing a collab today, and this is Michelle. She's my fiance, and I'm 27. And how old are you?
I'm 26.
There you go. All right, so this is going to be called "Man Advice for 18-year-old black male named G." For the sake of this privacy, we're going to call him G. Okay, and this is the topics we're going to be going over that I had with him in a conversation. We got lonely life. Woman will treat you right if you have a kid. 10 kids, 5 kids with one woman, 5 kids with another woman, dumping kids on relatives, 3 times the rent, no father, selfish reasons, girlfriend has a baby by another man, career is slightly more important than a kid, uh, uh, with a chick who had an abortion, wanted to get another chick pregnant on purpose. Okay, so would you like to start?
Uh, no, you can go ahead and start.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and start, y'all. We're respectful in these videos, you know what I mean?
Well, we try to be, but we're
going
gonna be real serious about it as well, too.
Yeah, so, alright, so anyways, I was having a conversation with G, and, oh, thanks. I was having a conversation with G why you want to have kids during the time when places are going out of business by the 200 and 500 stores, closing across the U.S., and what his plans to have them grow up. What does he want out of life? How does he, put kids versus his career? That's when he said, do you know how lonely life is? Okay, so he feels lonely. Me, I have friends. Okay, so I'm not going to have kids for the sake of being, a good parent. You know what I mean? And especially in this times where places are going out of business and children are being shot, you know, uh, in schools, a good parent always makes sure to have children during a high survival rate when they, you know, for their highest time for them to survive and things like that. Now, that's your job as a parent if you're going to make a child. So for G, he needs more friends. He needs women who are also friends. None of that extra stuff where you're trying to get in a relationship with them. Because with men you can talk to certain things about, women you can talk to certain things about. Talking to a woman one-on-one with you without any other woman around or other men around, she more than likely won't lie to you because she won't be affected by what other people around her think, or what people will think about her. So she'll probably tell you the truth about stuff because she won't be affected by people just around her or other women just around her.
Do you think that they heard you because of the airplane?
I'm sure they did. I mean, my voice is like right here. The airplane's way up there.
All right. So you did the lonely life bit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the lonely life part. So my advice, basically, to G is the fact that saying that your life is lonely, to me, you're only 18 right now and you haven't really lived out your life, so you can't say life is lonely. You could say your days are boring and you don't have anything to really fill your life with. But you can't just suppose the whole thing is going to be lonely. You know what I'm saying? um, I know you might be looking for something in your life to give it meaning, to give it purpose. Maybe it's that you want somebody to make you happy, or you're just looking for some pastime or event or something to make your life happy and stuff like that, or whatever. Which is why you're saying that life is lonely. I don't know if maybe you've grown up like that where you didn't really have people who made your life very um, filled with Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'm sorry, y'all, but what? Okay, sorry, my bad, y'all. What pisses me off a lot of times, and I'm just gonna be honest, is when you're trying to make a video and you got people who like inadvertently like are loud and stuff. I think that's like fucked up and shit like that. I know they're kids, but this park is big as hell, and there's no fucking way you have to be
They
all
don't
the way
really
over
look
here.
like too much kids to me. They look like they may be freshmen in college or something. Maybe even something.
Well, I don't know, but my advice basically to G is is like, um, life is may seem like it's lonely, but you have to have something that's going to fill your life and make it seem like it has meaning to it. You know, a baby may not necessarily be the best thing because it's something you can't take back. You know, it's not something that has a receipt. You know, you can't, return it. Is once it's here. And what I also want to go ahead and say is that with the baby, I want to say that there's hardships associated with kids. Sometimes you're going to have it where, the kid's going to cry. You're not going to get any sleep. You're going to lose intimacy with the person you're with. Your relationship with the person you have kids with is not going to be the same as when you're dating and stuff like that. I think it's more valuable to have a relationship where, you don't have kids because you can get to know each other, grow, and whatever it is you want to do. Personally, in my opinion. But when you get a baby thrown into the mix, you can't say, I quit. You can't. You have to take the job to support, either the woman or the kids that you're going to be having and stuff like that, regardless of how dangerous it's going to be. You just have to do it. Now, you might say, oh, I can get up and run. Yeah, but if she goes and gets child support, against you and you're not going to pay it and you feel like you can skip out, yeah, you can skip out, but she can also have you thrown in jail if you're not paying that. So that's another thing associated with having a baby as well. You know what I'm saying? That is also important. And also, you lose your free time, whether it be with your friends or, you doing what you like to do, And, if you have any dreams, well, it's going to be harder for you to achieve because you're not going to have time because of kids as well. Yeah, that's my bit about that.
All right.
Yeah, I'm like,
I understand how you feel, Michelle. Because they were way over there. They were quiet until we started making the video. So they're trying to get their voices in the video. They won't know what to click on. They don't know what this is about, But anyway, now we're going to get to, another part. All right, so anyways, I want to let you know, G. All right, there. Oh, thanks.
I'll hold it for you.
All right, thanks. All right, so there's two types of settling down. Okay, reason why I got my stuff written down, because, hey, I'm an organized person, and I tried to do this video earlier, but it was long as heck, so I wanted to organize my thoughts on paper. Anyway, there's two types of settling down, okay? There's the woman way, with the kids and the marriage, that they say, and then there's the settling down in your career, your home, your car. You're able to save a certain amount of money, and you know how much money is coming in and how much money is coming out, and you're coasting. You're going up in increments in your career or progress, with other things you want to do. You're not wildly going down or up. So he says that if he has a baby with her, with the woman, that they're going to they will treat him right, And he said that says he wants a whole basketball team. Well, when he said that, I was like, okay, well, women don't say stuff like that, And this is, this one sounds like it came from a man somehow. So no idea where he got that from. He said he wants 10 kids, which is his next answer to 1.5 kids. Okay, well, most of the time, when women have a baby, she'll be focused on that baby, and she'll still be focused on you. And you should be focused on, the baby, on helping her out and being a team. But what does happen is what we're going to talk about, because, we don't talk about what should happen or what could have happened, what they wish would happen. We talk about what does happen, so you know what is a possibility to happen to you. Okay, how to deal with that. What does happen is that that you become bottom priority. Sex is going to stop. She stopped doing stuff around the house, expecting you to pick up the slack after you get off work. You have to think a bit hard about having kids, because what if she is already semi-kid herself? What if you come home, no dinner? What if you come home and house is in worse shape than you left it? That's what a kid does, and you got to tell a kid to pick up your mess, to keep stuff organized and put that back where you got it from, kindergarten stuff you learn in kindergarten. If you're already doing that with a woman, that's living with stuff. If you're already doing that with a woman, then you don't need to be having a kid, because you're going to be picking up after her and the child. One child is 270K. But before Trump, it was 250K. So you're already going to be, bottom priority, especially if you have more than one kid. Because most relationships can handle one kid, but any child after that one falls apart.
Okay. Oh, you talked about a lot of stuff.
I talked about the part about
this one, the
Yeah, how the
Give your
woman.
baby.
Yeah, saying that if he gives a woman a baby, that she gonna treat him right afterwards. When I just explained that he'll most likely become bottom priority, especially with his case. With having more than one.
Yeah, I think that saying that a woman is going to treat you right just because you have a baby doesn't, you know, well, no, honestly, I think if you have more than one kid, it does become a struggle for, not just the man, but also the woman. But the increase in the kids just increases the amount of stress, anxiety, and grief you have associated with a kid. The great thing about just having one kid is that you can enjoy stuff and, enjoy those successes of the kids, stuff like, their birthday, when they turn 1, and then most people go when they turn like 5, and then what is it, 13, and then 16, and then 18, and 21. Those are the times where people really get a chance to really be a part of their child's life and stuff like that, and it's most important. But when you have multiple kids and stuff like that, it's really going to become a struggle because you're not going to be able to be a part of those things. And the kid's going to want you to pay attention to them. If you have more than one, that's going to be a struggle. With the woman having more than one kid, if you got her going to the store with these kids, then, well, let's say you got 10 of them. Well, they all going to split up and go different ways, and she can't catch all the kids. And what if one runs out in the street and gets hit, by a car? Well, you got a problem. Now the kid's going into the hospital, that's costing you money or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that in itself to me is an issue, as far as I'm concerned. I think that saying somebody is going to treat you right does not necessarily mean that it's going to be helpful. I think, a baby just puts stress on both the man and the woman. I mean, if y'all balancing it out together, that's fine. But if if you if y'all don't think y'all can do that with having a kid, then don't do it. Don't put unnecessary stress or grief on you guys if you don't need that. There's no guarantee of how anybody's going to act, whether you have kids or not. There's no guarantee. I would say it's better to be with the person for a while before you decide to make that type of commitment or anything else like that. You know what I'm saying? A child is just a big, big, big commitment and stuff. And, like I said, once you have a kid, you can't take it back. Now, with G saying, what is that? I don't know. He said he's having 10 kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to have 10 kids, yeah, I don't know how he's going to, I don't know how he's going to go with that. Like, with either having one woman with 10 kids, which I know that's impossible for a woman to watch all 10 kids at the same time.
Well, G's plan said, I asked him, okay, so what's your plan on having 10 kids? He said he's going to have 5 babies with one chick, and then he's going to dump her off, leave her.
Okay.
Then he's going to have 5 babies with the last chick, and he wants to stay with the last chick.
Okay, well, one thing I would say is, well, what's the guarantee that the second chick is going to want to stay with him? Well, what's the guarantee that the first woman is going to want to have 5 kids with him? I mean, there's so many variables about what somebody wants to do. You have the first woman, she may only want to have 2 kids or 3 kids. That may be the most she wants to have. So then he's going to have to go woman, and then baby, baby, baby. You know what I'm saying? He could end up being with 10 women who each have 1 baby. But then again, if you're not around, they're going to get mad. So they're going to want, child support. They're going to need help, because for them, if you leave out, that puts the strain on them and trying to be, mom and dad at the same time, and I think that's something that's not really well thought about. And also, when you, and I gotta say it again, when you have a baby or babies, your relationship is not the same as when you don't have kids. It's not. You can't do what you want anymore You can't spend the money on you and your shoes and your clothes and all the stuff you want. Because now you got kids in the house. And you know what the kids are going to say? I want this. I want that. I want this. If you don't get it, they going to throw tantrums up in the store. And here you're going to be embarrassed and stuff like that in front of people and stuff. And them throwing tantrums. And if you got, 5 kids doing that, that's an issue. But 10? What do you say? 10 kids? What's that, like a classroom damn near?
Yeah, 10 kids is a classroom.
Yeah, that's a classroom, of kids.
Got these mosquitoes on me like mad.
So we can go ahead and go to the next thing.
This mug's on me.
Okay, what was the next thing you want to talk about?
I'm getting bit.
What's the next thing you want to talk about?
Oh, man. Oh. Alright, look. I wish I could. I should have brought some off, man. I messed up on that. But anyway. Alright, so here's another thing. Alright. My mama had 2 kids. I was an easy birth. She didn't even know that she was pregnant with me. She didn't show. Her periods continued and all that extra stuff. And I just popped out. Boop. Easy. She was running track, volleyball, so her body was fit, and that's why I was an easy birth. Okay, now, but my sister, kill them dang mosquitoes if you can.
I can't get them.
So my mom, then she had my sister. And my sister came out breech, which was feet first, which made it to where she could no longer have kids. That can also happen to you women out there, okay? To where she can't have kids because her child comes out breech with feet first. And they come out, kicking. And they mess up the vagina, okay? So, stuff on TV like Dr. Phil and Lifetime and other shows on TV is mostly about man bashing. So us men don't get this type of information on mainstream media. A lot of males out here don't have dads because moms just want the money. In high school during lunch, I heard girls talk like that amongst themselves, that, they were going to take the lazy way out and just have a man get her pregnant 3 times and kick him out, and just live monthly off him from child support. Stuff that they say. And the government too, they said also. So I'm just want to let y'all guys know that you all got to stop listening to, the videos on YouTube, that women be lying and saying things, where they lie a lot, because, women lie a lot when there are other people are watching, or their friends or exes or other people, they know is going to see it. You know what I'm saying? So for the sake of the video, the 18-year-old does not live with he doesn't live with the woman. Okay, so he has not found himself just yet. All right, he hasn't found himself yet. He's basically listening to what girls say, and getting the tattoos, wearing the dreads, wearing the brand name stuff. He's doing, the Yeezys and stuff. So he's doing what they say, to be a part, to be a part of their list. Just to get girls, they going, so they going to use that, just to sway him, their way. You have anything you want to say? These mosquitoes. Oof.
I think the thing about it for him is, I think that I would say as a guy, what's wrong with just being yourself? Because I think that you have to be more confident in being you. I think that's the most important. And if you're trying to go along with what other people want of you, you're gonna always be doing that. You're never gonna be comfortable with yourself. Now, he might be saying, oh, well, I used to get girls and stuff might work or whatever it is. Well, you can only do that so long, because eventually you're going to run into the point where, if you change yourself for other people, you're going to lose sight of what you really want and what you want to do in your life and what you want to accomplish. And I'm a big advocate of, it's important for you to first think about you, what your dreams are, your aspirations are in life and stuff like that, and find somebody who's doing the same thing that you are doing, going in the same direction as you, and they understand that you have a goal and they're willing to stick it out with you and stuff like that. Now, for him saying, he wants to have all these kids and stuff like that, what I gotta say is that you get 10 kids, 5 kids by one woman, 5 kids by another. Well, first you got to think about the drama between the 2 women. There always going to be drama. Most people say, well, they think it's funny when you get people on World Star fighting and stuff. But you got to think about it. Those are real people with real lives and real situations. You know what I'm saying? And people will laugh at it and think it's funny, but then wait until it's your situation and it's not funny. So the two women would be drama, you know, to start with. And then the 10 kids is kind of an issue because you're always going to be buying 10 of everything. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, for example, you go to movies. You spend, let's say, $13 for one ticket. Well, 10 kids, that's $130. But you haven't bought your own ticket. So you going to come out $140. Then if the kids want drinks and, you know, popcorn and all that stuff, you may spend $200 on going for one night to see a movie or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully it's not in 3D. Because if it's in 3D, well, it's going to be more than that. You know what I'm saying? And what I think is that, you know, the whole thing is that you're kind of setting yourself up for a Jerry Springer show, you know, where, you know, it's a whole lot of drama and the kids and people saying, well, you know, you're supposed to be a father, you're supposed to support your kids and stuff like that. You're bringing a lot of responsibility on yourself. I could see if you wanted to have, you know, 1 or 2 kids, maybe even 3, but 10 is excessive and it gets expensive because remember, you're always going to be buying 10 of everything. And also your time with the kids too, you know, you're going to have to split up your time too. And 10 kids, that's a lot of birthdays. That's a lot of, you know, you know, parent-teacher conferences that you got to go to. That's a lot of kids you got to help get ready. That's a lot of kids that you got to have in a, you know, having a car. And if you're going to have 10 kids, you're going to have a van. You ain't going to be able to have no Mustang, a 2-seater or something like that or whatever. You ain't going to have that. You got to buy a vehicle and you got to have housing for these kids too at the same time. So every kid's going to have their own room. Now, he might say, well, oh, I just buy 2 houses. Well, a house is almost, what is it, $200,000 or so for a house or something like that. But a 5-bedroom house, you might end up spending $400,000 for that. And I'm sure he doesn't have that either, you know, for those kids. But like Anwan said, the cost of a kid is to raise them from birth until 18 is 270, is it like 270,000 or something like that, and that's for one. So if you multiply that by 10, that's in the millions. You know, that's almost 2 million. Could be 2,700,000 for all those kids. You know, but the thing is, that money is going to be coming out really, 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 really fast. You know, because you'll have the women asking for money, the kids saying they want this, that, whatever. You know what I'm saying, and whatever. And groceries are going to be crazy. You know, and all those kids are going to be leaving lights on and running out of the house, so you're going to be, the bills going to run up too. You know, so that's another thing to kind of think about with the whole kids thing and stuff like that. Now, leaving one person, another person, you know, staying with, you know, the second person, second lady, and having her kids, and then impregnating, you know, the first woman with the 5 kids. Well, you know what? If you know you're going to leave somebody, there's no point in having kids with them. It just is no point. You know, because you know that person's going to be inspired. You know that person's going to be pissed off, and they're going to try to get back at you in some way. Some people are crazy. Some people might try to kill you. You know what I'm saying? If they find out, especially if it's a woman, she found out it's another woman, she might try to kill your ass or kill the other woman or something like that. You know what I'm saying? People are jealous. They'll do anything. You know? Wow, that's a falcon.
No, he's really huge.
That's awesome. Sorry guys, there's like this falcon or something. I can't turn it around.
And he's on top of the
pole.
on top of the pole with the American flag, like an eagle. So it's
That's
crazy. What?
Wow.
But
yeah, I mean, I just think that how could you not expect a bunch of drama? You know, when you got 2 women and then you got the 5 kids over here and 5 kids over there. I mean, there's no way. You know, and what if you get to that point where you decide this stuff is too much for me? You know, these 10 kids, these 2 women, and all this crap. What are you going to do when that happens? Well, you can't go back. You stuck. The only way you're going to be, the way you get out, a lot of guys try to get out, is most likely they try to kill themselves.
Oh, they sign up for the military. I heard they do that too.
You know?
Yeah, that's some guys do. But the guys who end up doing that, killing themselves though, but those are the ones who they don't want kids, and the woman has kids anyway on them, and they trick them saying they're on birth control, or doctors say I can't get pregnant, and they never wanted kids, and they turn out to be a bad parent. And he'll say, well, if you have kids on me and I find out you're lying, I'll kill myself. And then they don't believe him. Then he does kill himself, and now she's stuck with the kids. That's how you start hearing stories like the mama's killing the kids because she can't get
Or-
nothing out. She can't get money for them.
or there's another-
child support, nothing.
Or there's another thing too, which is here these kids are, and they end up in an adoption center somewhere, and I don't know what it's like for kids to be in an adoption facility or something like that, but it sucks for kids to end up without any parents there, and they're stuck in the situation and they don't have anybody to protect them there and stuff like that, and they're always being fostered by these strange people that they don't really know and stuff like that, and being at the mercy of these people. You know what I'm saying? I think that's more of an issue than anything else. So, and also too, you what y'all may not know about kids in the adoption center is you go on websites and stuff, there are thousands of kids on there, on these adoption websites and stuff. Black, white, Asian, Mexican, all different types of kids. And, they have names and ages and stuff like that on there. It's the equivalent of if you went on the website looking for, for an adoption facility for a pet and looking for a pet, but this is kids. And these are thousands of kids who don't have a home, because, maybe it's because, they lost their parents, or because the mother just got sick of them and just dumped them off on the adoption facility. And now this kid is left to fend for itself and be by itself and be at the mercy of these other people who are not their, not the original parent or whatnot. So that's another thing too, in my opinion. All right, so we can keep on going.
It's getting windy.
Yeah,
all
no.
my papers around. Jeez.
Okay. Okay, so you did this one.
No, I'm right here. Sorry. I'm just trying to freaking wind all of a sudden got up there. Alright, so now what I was gonna say is that this, alright. It's easy for you to get 10 kids. Alright. It's easy. Alright. Because just look on Facebook. I mean, there's women out here, okay, they're straight baby machines out here. Alright. And they don't mind collecting that check. They're going to go ahead, have them babies, to pressure the man into marriage or to trap a man. Know somebody that did that. To get the, they want to get the baby belly experience, post it to Facebook. They want to get that baby shower experience. They want to post that to Facebook. That's the X. They want to, try to get twins like Beyonce, post that to Facebook. Or make another person jealous and to get the marriage experience and post that to Facebook so that they can, one up another girl or keep up with a friend or a sibling, because they're basically doing monkey see, monkey do. All right, and is it? You want to read this part, or you still got something to say?
Oh, about the experience and stuff on Facebook, it's very real. The people want to do that and have, like Beyonce, the whole twin craze that everybody wants to have and stuff. But I think something that people forget about is that, Beyonce in particular, Beyonce built her career before she had any kids. It took Beyonce, 15, 20 years to build her career. She started off when she was like 5 years old singing.
The real settling down, like I was talking about.
And she did all that first. There's other people who don't have kids, you know what I'm saying, who are, doing their thing or whatever, and they're the real settled down where they don't have kids, but they have their own place. They make their own money. They go where they want to go when they want to go. They don't have anybody telling them what to do, you know what I'm saying, and they can, choose to have whatever type of life they want to. And I think that's important. Yes, there are girls who are impressioned by Facebook and they want to be like other girls and stuff like that, but those girls are more impressionable and they don't know anything about being different, standing out, and I think there's one thing I do have to say about girls who say because they have a kid they have a different perspective now, and what women will say is they'll say, oh, well, now that I got kids, I'm a real woman, just because I had a kid. But one thing I got to point out is a 13-year-old girl can get pregnant, okay? Would you call a 13-year-old girl a real woman? Of course not. That's still a baby. I would consider a 13-year-old girl to be a baby, because she is a kid. She doesn't have the ability to get a job. She's still having her parents take care of her. She's still in school and stuff like that too. or whatever, and that is not a real woman. You know, my definition of a real woman is a woman who's taking care of her business. She got her own place. She got her own car. She saved up to get a new car or something. She's been traveling. She's getting to know herself, enjoy life, meet different people and stuff like that. And she is not just settling for what everybody else does. There's men that do the same thing, who have their own house, their own car, go wherever they want to, do whatever they want to. And, I think that that's more admirable to see people like that first, because then you give yourself time to build your career and all that, which is important. There's celebrities who do that. Nicki Minaj, she's doing that. There's male celebrities. I think, trying to think of who else does not have any kids. I think Neo, I think he doesn't have kids either, or anything like that. He doing his thing. There's a lot of celebrities who don't have kids or whatever. But people will go along with whatever they feel like justifies, a point of view that they want to follow with. That's what people will do. You know what I'm saying? You all right? Hey,
I'm
are you okay?
Freaking mosquitoes, man. It's crazy.
But people will, but people will go along with whatever they feel like, is going to. You look scared.
It's because they're everywhere.
It'll be all right. It'll be all right.
Trying to smash these mugs.
But yeah, people, people gonna take whatever it is they want to take, but I think it's really important, to just be yourself and not follow along with Facebook. But everybody's gonna do the hell what they want to do, regardless whatever the hell I say or not. But yeah, people, girls will want to have those experiences, but these are young girls that want to have these experiences and stuff like that. But what these girls are missing out on is the fact that they can have experiences without following everybody else. And guys can do the same thing. Have experiences without making big commitments like having a baby or getting married and stuff like that, and just enjoying life first before you bring a kid around. That's what I think is important. And you can always adopt a kid if you want one anyway, so in my opinion. There's thousands of kids who need homes, so.
That's if you don't want a whole basketball team of your bloodline. Okay.
Okay, what's the next part?
All right, I'm going to go ahead and talk about 3 times the rent. Something that y'all need to know is rent, the normal rent, when you just go, tell you what, 3 times the rent is what you have to make in order for you to be able to get an apartment. So, I don't know where y'all live at, but go to the store, go to one of those free stores. Go on that for me, please.
It
Watch
will
out
be.
for that button so I don't take a picture or something.
It'll
Okay.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Are you talking about like the magazines?
Yeah,
like
go,
the
go
little
get
book
those.
magazines.
Go get those little booklet magazines that say for rent, and
Yeah.
then take a look at how much that costs monthly, and then times that by 3. That's what they're going to tell you. In order for you to get accepted for renting out that place, home, or renting out whatever they have, you got to make 3 times that. Okay, in order for you to be accepted. Sometimes that's going to take a partner. Sometimes that's going to take a the person in your relationship. It's going to take 2 people with 2 jobs, a person with a full-time job and maybe a part-time job, or it's going to take you and a roommate. All right, so that right there in itself, plus the 3 kids, plus kids, they're going to be taking out. Okay, what are your expenses, and how much are you able to save versus how much bills is going to be taken out, blah 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 blah. Okay, so let's go ahead. So what G told me was that women only put men on child support because they just want a reason to see a man. And I said, you know what? That's dead wrong. Because the woman do everything she can to make sure that dad don't see his own kids. Because also, they go to the ex for sex while in a relationship, and they use their current partner for the experiences and the money and the romantic experience. Which is happening to G right now, actually. Okay. And, okay, so I want to stress for y'all who want to do this, do not mess up a woman's career, and people who is a rare, strong, independent woman, because that's rare. Because like I said, I out here with just monkey see, monkey do with this Facebook thing. Okay, so if she got a car, she knows how to manage bills. She's a bargain shopper. She keeps her place clean. She don't go around saying, I pay my own bills, I wash my own clothes, and I buy my own groceries. If she don't go around, singing, can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone bill? You know, can you pay my iPhone bill? And then maybe we can chill. As long as she don't
You're
say
funny.
stuff like that, then she's a strong, independent woman. But it's rare. Okay, that's who it is. Okay, now, a lot of them these days are just weak, copied women. You know, they're weak in the sense of wanting to be a part of something. They're weak in the sense of they can't even say hi. They can't speak. You know, they can't talk. You know, they can't, suggest their opinions and stuff like that. And they just follow what other people do. They're, what I mean, like, they're weak copied women is that, like, they chop their hair all off, you know what I'm saying? They looking like a dude, and and you a straight male, and you get married to this chick, and you thinking she's going to continue looking like a woman, and she goes walking around, and now she looks like a dude. Now he making you look gay walking around.
So to clarify, you're basically, I think what N1's trying to get at is, N1, they can't see you in the video.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So basically, what N1's talking about when he's saying that you have the copied women. So a good example of this would be when a woman gets married, a lot of women are going to have long hair. They're going to make sure that they got as long a hair as possible. They look glamorous as possible and everything else. When it comes to them getting married, because they want their family and friends to see them looking all glamorous and everything like that. That's something that, a lot of women do. Now, after they get married, there are a lot of women who go and they cut their hair off.
Elegance
and
cut
stuff
right
like
off.
that. That's something they do. Now, there is also the case with women where when they're dating, they will, make sure they look all hot and sexy and good and everything like that, or whatever, when they trying to find a man. But then when they get a man, well, you got some women, once they have a kid or so, they cut their hair off and stuff like that, or whatever, because they don't feel like they have the time to do their hair and fix themselves up. But they could do that if they really want to.
Yeah, I mean,
for a man, they could. Now, the thing is, there is also the case where, let's say you have a woman and she's been married, she got 3 kids, right, or whatever, with this guy. She wants to get a divorce or whatever. And let's say during the marriage, this woman gained weight or something like that, right? Well, after this woman gets a divorce, what is it that this woman does? Well, when the woman's right back out in the dating game again or whatever, there are women who go and they lose weight. They start working out, you know what I'm saying? And what they do is they will start looking hot and sexy again for, the new guys that they're trying to attract to them and stuff like that. So, that is something that does, come about. Now, I think for a guy, if you do not want this to be the case, one good thing to do is when you're dating, just say, hey, I like women that look like women. You have long hair, you wear dresses, you keep yourself looking good, regardless of the fact of whatever, and if you stop looking a certain way, then, I'm going to be less attracted to you or whatever, and I'm just going to be ready to break it off if that's not what you're willing to do.
And it's messed up because some women will do that, will know that you say that, and do that on purpose just so they can say something like this. Well, I just don't feel like you're attracted to me anymore. She knows that already. She already knows that. She can't use, how's she going to use that against you when it's something that she knew in the beginning?
I feel like people should just be honest when you're dating other people. That's really important in my opinion. All right, let's go ahead and keep on going.
All right, so the thing is that the stuff about, the weak copy women, they just doing the same things that and follow whatever the media tells them to do. For instance, the cutting of the short hair and the body positive, where they're making unhealthiness, trying to get men to accept it. But anytime you go to a dating site and they're advertising for a dating site, what do? You see the long hair, you see a woman that's in shape. Okay, just look at what guys use on that app called Smash or Pass. Just watch whatever guy says he's going to smash, and then you'll figure out real quick what he likes or what men like. Okay, or that particular guy, because some people are chubby chasers. So hey, it is each their own. Okay, so what I want to say is that they only want what other women want after they see it. So I want to just say that leave those strong, independent women, for those of higher intellect who wants a teammate and actually survive strong out here and be a team. So so people like out here just want babies. Look, so find a baby machine and do that with them. Having the 10 kids with one woman and 5 with another woman is going to be hard to do because most women only want tax money incentives with 3 kids, and they only get tax incentive with 3 kids. So they only receive but they can receive, child support for all the children. But as far as taxes go, you only get that with 3 kids. Okay. Each kid you have, it is highly suggested that you get a paternity test. Okay. You got 1 year to a year and a half to prove the baby is really yours or not. If you say the baby looks just like me, but that's because that chick only messes with guys who look just like you. That's her list. Especially if you black. This goes for everybody. This goes for everybody. Black people getting killed by cops. And the baby survives, and the parents are dead. Or if you go on vacation and something happens to the parents, and the baby survives. Or in any case of something happening to you, and your baby survives, the paternity test is not only just to prove who the father is, for stuff like one night stands where you get a man's fake name, address, fake number, you'll never find where the hell that dude lives. It will give the new parents or family members who took on your surviving baby or baby's information about the hereditary diseases and ailments that run in your father's family and in the mother's family, because the baby has a right to know what that stuff is. I've got a small amount of time. Let me go ahead and just finish this up.
Yeah, go ahead and finish it.
All right, so G's kid's going to end up, going to college and then getting a job at McDonald's with 2 master's degrees. I mean, I worked at McDonald's during college, making like $8, at age 20, and there was a woman there, who had 2 master's degrees, making she's making the same wage I was, and she had 8 years of college to back her, helping and thinking and hoping and wishing that it was going to propel her forward in her career, and she's working the same place I was. Child support goes about like this, okay? This here is how mine went, during my mom and my dad's custody battle with me and my sis. At age 12, my dad got custody, and my mom paid $250 each for me and my sister, so that is $500 a month, and my mom was making about $20 an hour as a nurse. Then at age 16, my mom lost custody, of me and my sister, and my dad got custody, okay, at age 16. So my dad got custody of us, and my dad made $25 an hour as an automotive technician, and he had 8 kids, and he was paying $255 for me and my sister each every month, and child support for the other kids too. All right, so the last thing I want to tell y'all, who's watching, to take away from this is that if you believe that the woman is going to treat you right after she has a baby and you marry her, the woman out here, mostly they just want to have a baby to trap a man, pressure a man into marriage so they can have a marriage experience, post all that stuff to Facebook, have the big belly baby shower experience, post that to Facebook. Then after that, if you think that she's about to keep that long hair and keep looking good and stuff for you, and keep looking elegant for you, after that, comes the chopping of the hair and letting herself go. And then after that, she done had the baby. She did the pregnant belly thing, the baby shower, the marriage. What's next? What's next is she's gonna chop the hair off, okay? And now she's letting herself go, and she's trying out the lesbian experience, looking for that, looking for that type of way to say, hey, I'm available for a good time to attract a female instead of a male. And and now you walking around, a straight male next to a chick who makes you look gay because she's looking like a man, okay? When you are actually a straight male. Yes, things can go that south. I just wanted to let y'all know and say, thanks for watching, because I got somebody in my family that does that, so I know what that means. All right. Is there anything that you want to say? We got like 7 minutes left.
What I just basically want to say, I guess, about just the whole thing for G personally is that, I think it's important for you to just be yourself and to live your life, and get hobbies, get friends that are positive influence and stuff like that. Don't be so quick to try to have kids early and anything like that, or get any drama going where you got 2 women and 10 kids and stuff like that, and you're trying to dump the kids off on family members, because there's no guarantee that your family members are going to take your kids. There's just no guarantee. And what if it's just you, and then you trying to work and support these kids, but then you find that you and those kids end up homeless. The women may not necessarily, because they may end up and be able to go back with their family, but you and the kids may not. The women may not want to take the kids back with them. The women may want to go and date other men or something like that, you know. So they may not want to have all those kids and have all that responsibility and stuff like that associated with that, you know. And the thing is about a kid, like I said, once you have one kid, it's here. You know, it's easier to take care of one kid than to take care of 10. There's going to be a lot of time constraints and stuff like that. And when it comes to kids, you're going to have to spend money on them. You got one, you spend amount of money providing for one, which is $270,000. If you come to having 10 kids, well, you going into the millions trying to support these kids. And this doesn't include dealing with all these women's pregnancies. It doesn't include, you know, maybe one or both of them wanting to get married, or maybe one gets married or something, but then the other one's going to get mad and you get a divorce and stuff like that. That doesn't include that. You know, I think it's important to just weigh out your options and think about stuff, you know, first off, and everything like that. And, you know, by and large, I mean, you know, if you have a goal for a career, just try to focus on doing that if that's something you want to do. If you're like this and you don't know which matters more, that's a sign that you need to sit down and think about that a lot more, about what you want to do with reference to your life and stuff like that. Because if you don't build up that career, you ain't gonna have enough for them kids, you know. And you can't have a McDonald's job supporting 10 kids. It's just not gonna work. What do you make, $7.50, $8?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's not enough to be supporting no kids. You know, it's not. Even if you have a $10 or $11 an hour job, that's not enough to support a bunch of those kids either. You know what I'm saying? On TV, you might see people having 10 kids or whatever, but they might have businesses and shit like that they have in order to support all those kids and have the resources and everything. There is no guarantee in the future of having support like that, you know. So I would just say for G, you know, for the time being, just have fun, build your career, you know, don't get into anything too serious. Now, for being with a woman and her having a baby, you causing yourself issues, because what if she's got another dude, or the dude comes back and then there's a whole thing where he's trying to kill you or some kind of thing like that. That's an issue. Or you're signed up for child support from her because of the baby or whatever, you know. I mean, that's drama, you know.